Welcome student back to the online class. Today we are going to start with the part 3 of physical features of India. Content that we are going to cover today are recapitulation again, introduction to plateaus and its features, types of plateau, Eastern and Western Ghats, comparative studies of Eastern and Western Ghats, Indian desert, features and characteristics of desert, coastline, features of coastline, type of coastline, islands of India, types and features of islands, objectives of the whole chapter, then the chapter will be finished. Let us start with the recapitulation. The Himalayan mountain, its comparative studies we did, type and features of mountains, northern plain, definition, division of plains, formation of plains. By this we ended up in part 2. Today's topic that we are going to read are the Peninsular Plateau, the Great Indian Desert, the coastal region and the islands. Let us start with Peninsular first. The Peninsular Plateau is a tableland composed of the old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. It was formed due to the breaking of drifting of the Gondwana land and thus make it a part of oldest landmass. The plateau has broad and shallow valleys and rounded hills. These plateaus have some features. They are what? It covers a total area of about 16 lakh square kilometers. India as a whole is 32 lakh square kilometers. That means mostly half of it. The average height of this plateau is 600 to 900 meters above the sea level. Most of the peninsular rivers flow west to east, indicating general slope. The Peninsular Plateau is one of the oldest landform of the earth, and Peninsular Plateau is an aggregation of several smaller plateaus, hills, ranges interspread with river basins and valleys. Now, there are 3 types of plateau. The plateau consists of 2 broad divisions, namely the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. The part of the Peninsular Plateau lying to the north of Narmada River, covering a major area of the Malwa Plateau, is known as the Central Highland. The Central Highlands were wider in the west but narrower in the east. The eastern extension of this plateau are locally known as the Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand. The Chota Nagpur Plateau marks the farther eastward extension drained by the Damodar River. And the most important, the Deccan Plateau. It is a triangular landmass that lies in the south of river Narmada. The Satpura range flanks its broad base in the north, while the Mahadev, the Kaimur hills and the Maikal range form its eastern extension. The Deccan Plateau is higher in the west and slopes gently eastwards. Now these plateau areas are being covered by Western and Eastern Ghats, few mountain ranges. The Western and the Eastern Ghats marks the western and the eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau, respectively. Western Ghats lie parallel to the western coast. They are continuous and can be crossed through passes only. The Eastern Ghats are discontinuous and irregular and dissected by the river draining into the Bay of Bengal. Let us come to the comparative study of the Western and the Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats stretches from the Tapi river to Kanyakumari, while the Eastern Ghats stretches from Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiris in the south. Average height of Western Ghats are 50 to 80 km only, whereas average width of Eastern Ghats is 100 to 200 km. Western Ghats. Most of the peninsular rivers have their origin in the Western Ghats. No major rivers originate from the Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats are continuous and can only be crossed by passes, while Eastern Ghats comprises of discontinuous and low hills. Average elevations of Western Ghat is 900 to 1600 meters, whereas average elevations of Eastern Ghat is 600 meters above the sea level. Highest peak that we find in the Western Ghat is Anaimudi, whereas in Eastern Ghat is Jindagada. Western Ghats receive orographic type of rainfall, southwest monsoon coming from the Arabian Sea and causes heavy rainfall, whereas Eastern Ghats lie almost parallel to the monsoon coming from Bay of Bengal and does not cause much rainfall. It causes a little bit of winter rainfall. That is also in the port of Tamil Nadu. Western Ghats are locally known as with different names: Sahyadri in Maharashtra, Nilgiri Hill in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, Anaimalai Hills in Cardamom Hills in Kerala. Whereas this Eastern Ghat is known as Malia and Madhugula Konda ranges in Odisha, Nallamalai and Palkonda ranges in Andhra Pradesh. Southwards, they are present as ditched low hills: Javdi, Sevri, Panchmalai, Sirmulai, Varushand hills, etc. Now let us come to our Indian desert. To the north of the Aravalli hills lie our great Indian desert. It is the land of undulating topography dotted with longitudinal dunes and barkhans. This region receives low rainfall below 150 mm, that means millimeter, per year, quite less. Hence, it has arid climate with low vegetation cover. It is because of this characteristic features that this is also known as Marusthali. It is believed that during the Mesozoic era, this region was under the sea. The lakes and the plains have brackish water, which is the main sources of obtaining salt. Characteristics and the features of desert. Indian desert, its features is the Indian desert lies towards the western margin of the Aravalli hill. It is an undulating sandy plain covered with sand dunes. The region receives very low rainfall, that is 150 mm per year, and it's arid climate and very low vegetation. Streams appears during the rainy season. That means these streams are seasonal. Characteristics of desert. Soil that forms in arid climate are predominantly mineral soil with low organic content. Most plants are drought salt tolerant. That means they can resist for long time. Rain does fall occasionally in desert, and the desert storms are often violent. Also, they are very hot during the day and very cold during the night. Our next topic is coastline. Here we can see lots of coastline. That is Konkan coast, Malabar coast in the western hand, and Utkal coast, Andhra coast and Coromandel coast in the eastern side of India. Coastal plains. coastal plains are characterized by an area of flat low-lying land that is situated adjacent to the water body, often a sea or an ocean. It is also noted that coastal plains are separated from the interior of the large landmasses by the other unique features. Types of coastal plain. One is the western coastal plain and the eastern coastal plain. The western coastal plain extends from Gujarat in the north to the south in the Kerala, whereas eastern coastal plain stretches from Tamil Nadu in the south to West Bengal in the north. Western coastal plain is a narrow plain whose width varies from 50 to 80 km, whereas eastern coastal plain varies from 100 to 130 km. The western coastal plains are smaller than the eastern coastal plains, and the region is divided into four parts: Gujarat coastal plain, Konkan coastal plain, Kannada coastal plain and Malabar coastal plain. Whereas although being widest in range, but Konkan coast on the eastern coast is having two parts: the northern Sirka and the Coromandel coast. Now let us come to the last topic, that is the island of India. We all know India has two types of island. One is Andaman and Nicobar and the other one is Lakshadweep. India has a vast mainland. Beside this, the country has two groups of islands. That is Andaman and Nicobar in the eastern side and Lakshadweep in the western side. Islands, what are they? Apart from several islands found all along the coast of India, there are two main groups of islands. One of them is Lakshadweep Islands in the Andaman in the Arabian Sea, whereas Andaman and Nicobar Island in the Bay of Bengal. Minicoy, with an area of 5 km, is the largest island in Lakshadweep group. The Andaman and Nicobar group stretches for a distance of about 600 km. Most of these islands are mountainous and are covered with thick forest. Let us see the features that both the islands is having. Lakshadweep Islands, the smallest union territory of India, is a group of islands where 200 to 300 km off the coast of Kerala in the Arabian Sea. It's located in 8 degree to 12 degree north latitude and 71 degree to 74 degree east longitude. Lakshadweep's features: there are 36 coral islands and constitute Lakshadweep Islands. Only 2 are inhabited and only 6 have been opened for tourism. The total land area is 32 km square. These islands formed of coral deposits are called atolls. Atolls are circular or horseshoe-shaped coral reef. That means we can say Lakshadweep is made up of coral reefs or corals. Now Andaman and Nicobar Island. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are located between 6 degree to 14 degree north latitude and 92 degree to 94 degree east longitude in the Bay of Bengal near the Myanmar coast. It is located 1255 km from Kolkata and 193 km from Cape Nargis in Myanmar. Its features: they are big in size and are more numerous and scattered. The entire group of islands is divided into two broad categories: the Andaman in the north and the Nicobar in the south. The Andaman and Nicobar are separated by a channel. It's the 10 degree channel, some 150 kilometers wide. This is how these islands are distinguished from each other with their features. Now let me come with the objectives that we have learned all these physical features. we need some objectives. Why we have learned this? So let us come and see the objectives. Knowing about India's relief, major physiographic units and structure. To understand the major landforms features and the underlying geological structure. Their association with different rocks and minerals as well as nature of the soil types. We come to know about all these things. Nature, structure, formations of all the physical features of India. This is how I conclude my chapter. It's better to say I end my chapter over here. Bye. Thank you.